Yo, what's up guys? Hope you're doing well. Really appreciate you checking out the video. I've been wanting to make this video for a long time. My patience has ran out and I'm literally on the way home from work and I can't even wait to get home to start recording this. A lot of this topic is on my brain, kind of fresh. I want to talk about gross vehicle weight rating, and when you're building your overland or off-road truck, at least when you're new to this, the easiest thing to do is to overload your vehicle to the point where it sucks to drive, you get awful fuel mileage, stuff starts breaking. I guess I just want to talk about gross vehicle weight rating, what that actually means, and ways you can actually increase that number. And I do that because you can't really increase that number officially. This is just some advice and some things that I've done in my own truck to help it drive significantly better with all the added weight that I have on there. First of all, you got to understand that the gross vehicle weight rating is determined from the manufacturer as it leaves the facility. So that's a completely bone stock truck. And what you'll actually find on some Tacomas and maybe even some other vehicles is basically if you put like 4 full-grown adults in a bone stock truck, you're over gross vehicle weight rating, which is wild. Just keep in mind, like that number, like I said, is determined off of those stock components. They're also probably considering, if you have 4 people in there, it's probably like a short-term thing, right? It's like, or if you're hauling some mulch or something, you're not gonna be hauling that all the time. So it's probably okay in short bursts. But as far as like a dedicated overland truck where you have rooftop tents and bumpers and stuff on your vehicle all the time, that's way different. And I highly, recommend that you don't just bolt all that stuff on your truck and drive around all the time, because those factory components like your brakes, your suspension, your tires, your gears, your engine, your drivetrain, all that stuff, it is going to wear prematurely because it just wasn't designed for that kind of load. What I've done in my truck, and you guys know, it definitely looks pretty heavy. It is pretty heavy, but it's not as heavy as you think. I actually weighed the truck before I got 37s and before I got long travel. Nothing else really changed, and it was around 6,800 pounds without me in it. I'm 180 pounds. So, let's call it 7,000 pounds, before the 37s and long travel. I'm probably another 100 pounds into it. So I'm around 7,100 pounds, which is quite a bit of weight. However, I feel like I've built my truck in a very safe way, and I've been able to distribute the weight really well, in addition to address all those factory components that end up contributing to that gross vehicle weight rating from the factory. So I've kind of upped that number. The specific components I think you need to consider if you're building a truck that's pretty heavy is your brakes, your suspension, your gears, possibly some steering components here or there. Oh, and your tires. So your factory tires are, not designed for a heavy load. If you run like an E-load tire, then you're going to be completely fine, because that's made for heavy loads, right? So if you're running heavy gear all the time, you got to upgrade your tires. It doesn't just stop at bolting a bunch of crap to your truck. You got to address these other areas, that way you're safe. Now, if you're watching this from a different country or a different state or something that has a much stricter law, then it probably is going to be different for you. If you actually have like vehicle inspections and they actually weigh them, well, I don't know what to tell you in that case, to be honest. I would say the majority of people watching in the majority of the US, they don't really enforce a gross vehicle weight rating. You still want to be safe, and you still want to drive a vehicle that is comfortable to drive and that is enjoyable to drive. You don't want to drive a absolute pig every single day and hate your truck. The other thing I've seen people do is, let's say they have a truck and it's got leaf springs. They'll put a bunch of stuff on their truck and then they'll upgrade the leaf spring pack to carry a heavier constant load. Well, yes, that supports the truck and makes it, level, but that doesn't safely address the rest of the issue. You're still going to be slow to accelerate, you're braking, you're going to wear on your factory components a lot quicker. Stuff down to like your ball joints and your factory tires and your drivetrain itself. Like all these different components are affected. So the more areas you can touch and upgrade and beef up to support that weight, the safer your truck's going to be. I'm trying to encourage you not to use that gross vehicle weight rating number. Dude, this is really hard. I'm shifting and everything. I'm in my daily driver right now. on the way home from work. But yeah, that number in my head is more or less like a checkpoint, if you will. The further you go away from that number, obviously it's worse. So still try to be close-ish to that number. Also consider the more upgrades you do that actually benefit the handling and everything, and acceleration, braking, all that of your truck, the better you're going to be. And then on the flip side, the less things you do, the closer to that gross vehicle weight rating you need to be. All right, we're pulling into the driveway. Yo guys, onX Offroad just dropped a new feature and it's actually super sick. It's called onX SOS. Nobody plans for an emergency, but now there's a backup plan built right into the app. onX SOS connects you with Overwatch and Rescue, a professional emergency response team that can coordinate rescue if something goes wrong while you're off grid. Even better, rescue and evacuation costs are actually covered through Overwatch and Rescue, so you can focus on getting back home safely. If you ever need help, it's actually super easy to use. Just go to the tools section in the onX Offroad app, tap SOS, and then your location is automatically shared with Overwatch and Rescue. Their emergency response team is going to coordinate the rescue. Super fast, simple, and it's built into the app you're already using. Lastly, I'm going to drop a link down below in the description. You can check out a full user guide of exactly all the details of how to use this cool feature. And just like always, if you're new to onX Offroad, if you're interested in a membership, I do have a 20% off QR code you can scan to save you some bucks. All right, let's jump back to it. I want to talk a little bit about my specific build, my Tacoma. Now I'm on 37s, long travel, flatbed, canopy, all these things in the truck, right? I put these Kinda cleavers, they're an E-load tire. I put those on there. I put nice suspension all the way around, Dobson suspension. I upgraded the leaf springs. I upgraded my bump stops, upgraded my gears. That's a huge one. So you don't want to have a sluggish truck, like the more weight you put on it and you don't have gears and stuff, you're wearing those gears out so much more. You're overheating your transmission, you're overheating your motor, your transfer case, all that stuff. I mean, imagine like riding a bike in a really tough gear. Like you're working so much harder when you could just change your gear and just pedal really easy and nice. So you're doing that to your truck if you don't do your gears. My brakes, I have power brake, the D-line kit, which is a new rotor and pad. And those essentially help dissipate heat way better than the factory brakes. I didn't do any like trans coolers or anything like that because somehow my truck doesn't overheat. It never has, even with all this weight. I have a scan gauge in there that helps me monitor the trans temps. And even in Colorado, like going up big mountain passes, it would get to 210 at the very hottest, and then I would kind of back off from there. All that to say, I feel like I've addressed all these areas enough to where I feel safe and comfortable driving this truck, knowing it's significantly over the gross vehicle weight rating. All my weight was as far forward of the axle as possible. That way I'm not like super biased to the back or the front, side to side, whatever. Tried to spread out my gear to where it made sense. Just keep in mind, when you're building a truck, it's like way more important. It's just like a house. It's way more important to strategically build it than just bolt a bunch of crap on there. So just like building a house, you want a firm foundation. You want everything in its place where it's going to make sense as a whole unit at the end. A couple more things to consider. Your frame, your chassis itself. There are like frame brace kits you can buy and stuff like that. It also kind of comes down to your driving style. Like if you're somebody that's like, you're hucking your truck and you're getting off the ground and you're like a crazy savage psycho dude and you have a bunch of weight, you are literally asking to break stuff. Even if you have upgraded things, you're asking to break things. The way I drive is pretty calm, cool, and collected. I like to crawl things rather than just bash through stuff. And I love to have mechanical sympathy and just know the limits of my truck and not push things too hard. And knock on wood, I haven't broken anything at all. Like, I've just put oil in this freaking truck and it's been treating me amazing for almost 6 years now. The other thing too is like if you're bombing washboard roads, you're getting all these constant undulations, well, that's going to affect everything. I mean, that's going to like loosen brackets that bolt your tent to the rack, and stuff in the cab is going to wear out your bushings. Like all these things are at play when you're shaking and doing a bunch of washouts on the road. Things like bump stops, suspension, all that is so important to keep everything nice and happy. The other thing to remember kind of on that note is you know, dynamic versus static weight. Dude, you could put, I don't even know, like 15,000 pounds on a truck that doesn't move. That doesn't matter, but it's all about the movement. So if you take a corner really hard and it's super heavy, how does the truck respond, right? Stuff like that. Like if you do a G out, you want some nice bump stops, or you want some kind of way to protect, you know, your lowers and stuff from jamming up into your truck and smoking your frame. Another thing that people often overlook, and I kind of mentioned it when I talked about the weigh-in, but I failed to do this and it ticks me off. I need to go back to a weigh-in station and do it. But it's to consider the gross axle weight rating. I think that's how it is described. But basically you can go to a weigh station and weigh, you know, each axle and see how biased your weight is in your truck. 9 times out of 10, most people are going to be heavier in the back anyway, just because that's where the storage is, whether it's an SUV or a truck. But you don't want to be like, you know, 70% weight in the back and like 30 up front. That's going to suck. So just keep that in mind too. It's nice to know those numbers, just to know like, hey, I can move things around maybe, or, you know, maybe I try to get things, you know, instead of the heaviest things at the very, very back of my truck, maybe I push them more towards the front of the axle. So that's going to help with drivability and balance and all that stuff too. So to kind of recap, don't freak out if you're, you know, if you're 1 pound over your gross vehicle weight rating. It's not all of a sudden a light switch and now your truck is dangerous. That's not true at all. Just keep in mind, the further you go from that number, the more you have to do to your truck to make it safe. If you don't have laws about that, then just take all the things I said into consideration and upgrade those components that you can. Upgrade your braking, your tires, your drivetrain, so your gears, your suspension, and possibly an additional cooler for your transmission or something like that. But like I said, in my case, I didn't need that. Just don't think gross vehicle weight rating is like a super hard number that you have to absolutely follow. So just take that with a little bit of grain of salt. That's all I got to say. I'm home. Time to go in here and edit this video. Yeah, that was just on my mind for a long time, and I haven't addressed it to all you guys. You know, I've only just done some DMs here or there, so wanted to kind of put that out there, give you all my perspective, because I know my truck is pretty large and in charge, and I feel like it's still safe and does the job perfectly well. Appreciate you guys. You rock. Go out there, have fun, do cool things. Appreciate you. Peace.